a ton of rumors out there that Clemson and Florida State are talking with the Big 12. How do we describe this? That they are flirting, expecting within the year to be like it's all rumors, it's all conjecture, it's all hearsay, he said, she said. Clemson and Florida State rumored to be talking with the Big 12. I had 3 extremely obvious and sequential thoughts when I heard this the first time. My first one was, why? Right? Other than you just want movement, like you just, like, we caused all this ruckus, we want to like, you know, it's, I hate, like, household jobs that you can work at for a long time, chores, and it doesn't look like you did anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
laundry.
Yeah, like exactly. Like I want to see that I've accomplished something. So if you're Florida State and Clemson and you've been like bashing your head against the wall, I want to get out of the ACC, and then it's years later and you're still in the ACC, there's still no sign of movement, and maybe the Big Ten and the SEC don't even want you now. Like maybe you move to the Big 12 just to be like, look at everything I've done, right? That's why I like mowing the lawn. If it's not the hottest day in the world outside, it's actually sometimes kind of nice, right? You're going up and down in lines. You get to look back and look at all of this that I have accomplished. Look how nice my lawn looks. Maybe that's what they're looking for. The next very obvious thought that popped into my head was, is the Big 12 actually better than the ACC? Like, am I blinded by my ACC fandom? Because I don't hide that. Like, because I look at it and think that's at best, a lateral move, right?
That's just, hey, I'm moving for the sake of moving.
Going to the Big 12, taking Clemson and Florida State, if Texas and Oklahoma were still there,
different situation.
I think I might be convinced. But now you're just going to the Big 12, and it's just the Big 12 again. You have a couple of schools all the way at the top, and then everybody else fighting for that next line. Some good, some bad teams. And not only that, is it so, like, if you move from the ACC to the Big 12, you're not only saying the Big 12 is better, you're saying it's so much better that I will forfeit all of the history I have in the ACC to go do it, right? Nebraska moving to the Big Ten, suddenly they were no longer rivals with Oklahoma, who was their rival, right? It's like, are you willing to pass on being a in-conference rival with Miami if you're Florida State? Are you willing to pass on the Clemson, NC State, Clemson, Virginia Tech histories? And then lastly, the third thing that popped into my head, most importantly, was pay the money and I will escort you out of the conference. Mm-hmm. If you want to pay $500 million, which is the money you agreed to pay if you wanted to leave when you signed the grant of rights, if Clemson and Florida State each want to pay the $500 million to go to the Big 12, I'll throw you a going away party. I'll use $300,000 of the $1 billion you're going to give us to throw you a wonderful going away party. We'll play every Clemson game back to back to back to back on ACC Network for 2 weeks just to say bye. If you want to do what you agreed to do, pay the money, right? Now, if you want to go to the Big 12 and you don't want to pay the money, now you're gonna get a fight, right? The ACC is gonna lawyer up. You're gonna lawyer up. It's gonna take forever.
That's what we got going on right now.
Not much will change. If you want to pay the money that you agreed to pay when you signed the grant of rights, twice, by the way. If you want to do that, that's what contracts are there for. That's buyouts. That's exit clauses. That's there's a whole bunch of different clauses that can add up to this, but it is very, very simple. If you want to leave, pay the money, and there will be no hard feelings. And by the way, probably going to the Big 12 because the SEC and the Big 10 don't want you. Greg Sankey, the SEC Commissioner, during his opening remarks earlier today, said this about the future of the SEC.
But I don't spend an enormous amount of my time thinking about it. I certainly don't spend any time engaged in that recruiting activity. Because we're focused on our 16, and I want to be respectful of the difficulty that's currently faced with that set of issues within the ACC and my colleague, Jim Phillips. We're focused on our 16, period. You've seen how we've made decisions over the last decade plus for contiguous states to join I think that's incredibly wise and provides remarkable strength. The last three questions are part of the reality, which is I've responded now 3 times where our focus lies. Our focus is on our 16 members. I have a responsibility to pay attention, and I'm certainly not going to fuel speculation on what happens next.
So that was a little bit about what the ACC has going on with the lawsuits in 3 different states, a little bit about kind of the landscape of college football and college sports, and then obviously about the SEC. Here's how far I trust what Greg Sankey says into a microphone. Not at all. Not at all. Remember the heist of Texas and Oklahoma felt like it happened at night, and he raided the Big 12.
Oh, we were in ACC kickoff 3 years ago in Charlotte, literally so this time, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Oklahoma and Texas are going to the SEC. Everyone's like, wait, what? What's happening now?
If Greg Sankey told us everything the SEC was doing and saying behind closed doors, we wouldn't have been that surprised. So, Clemson and Florida State have to go to the Big 12 because the SEC doesn't want them. They'll find out if the SEC wants them. Like in a carrier pigeon at 2 a.m. one night, they're going to get like a message.
Send a raven.
Yeah, they're going to get a message, meet me at the oak tree on Maple Street. And it's going to be like, what? Who? Why? Be a message there waiting for you. The SEC is not to be trusted. And Clemson and Florida State are not to be trusted. And actually, to be completely honest, not many in college sports are meant to be trusted right now.
Oh, God, no.
Everyone's looking out for themselves.